Oh my goodness. I know this is not a dream you are having. We are in fact, not only are we here, we're both here.
Yeah.
We're not here on Wednesday at 5:30. We're here Thursday at 5:30. But again, like 85% close.
You gotta
Like
be prepared for the unexpected as preppers. So, and sometimes we come on Thursday, sometimes the emergency we don't come at all, but you always have to be prepared.
Oh my goodness. I'm ready for it to be Friday because that whole thing was a whole different topic. Anyway, welcome everybody to Prep Talk Live, episode 86. Some of these I was like, okay, do we count them as like A episodes and B episodes and part ones and part two? We're just
Oh yeah,
full on
just go,
episode 86.
sequential. Sequential is the way to go.
Yeah, exactly. I'm Casey with Cascadia Dispatch. Joining me as usual, 98% of the time, is Tup the Urban Prepper. Tup, what's up? Like we were talking in the green room for the 30
Yeah,
seconds before we
well,
got on. Like
wardrobe and makeup and everything. Yeah, we were kind of.
exactly. It feels like it's been months.
Yeah, I don't think it's been months, but it feels like it has been. It feels like it's been a few weeks at least. It's just been, yeah,
Yeah,
kind of busy times. I think it's like spring break, so like even at work and stuff, everyone's doing stuff with the family and everything, so it's hard to squeeze everything in. But yeah, it's just been keeping busy with family stuff and wrapping up some taxes. It's a tax season in America, and what
oh,
else? Yeah, I'm also keeping really, really busy though with all sorts of stuff. So I'm not just sitting around eating bonbons on the couch. Definitely
they were
work
freeze
on stuff.
dried bonbons.
Yeah, freeze dried bonbons. Yeah, the Mountain House bonbons are my preferred ones. But and then I'm getting ready for some. Is it is it okay to spring cleaning in April? Is that okay? Or but I have some projects I need to. I have some cleaning to do and some
Yeah, I think
reorganizing.
it's technically spring. So
Yeah,
if any cleaning during the spring would technically be spring cleaning.
yeah. I'm calling that spring cleaning. So
Yeah, I
I have
feel
to.
like that's fair.
I'm seriously thinking about having a prepper garage sale because I have some stuff that I don't need any. I haven't used it. The
Yeah.
emergency hasn't happened, and I need to offload some stuff. So I'm need to figure out how to promote that.
All right. Well, I think so. One of the interesting things that, like, so I actually, now that I think about it and put this together, could be a
Yeah.
hilarious idea. But so lots of influencers, like the fashion influencers and things, they have like Poshmark and some of those places where they'll like post their like designer clothes or whatever that they
Oh
have
yeah.
that they don't use. I feel like
Kind of like the Devil
I
Wears
feel like
Prada, where she got all the outfits.
exactly. I feel like there is an opportunity to have Tup's closet
Yeah.
or Tup's garage sale on like something like that, and then like offer that as because then not only would it be the thing, but it would be a Tup official thing.
Well, some of it's like real. 'Cause I would eBay it or something, but there's some like minor things like, hey, this is a chain for a random prep thing that you might need. Maybe I'll go like the. Do they still have swap meets? Are those still a thing? Maybe I'll.
I don't
Is there a
know.
prepper swap meet?
Maybe. I mean, I'm sure that there are. I don't know
Yeah.
what they. I mean,
I
that might
will.
just
I
be
might be
like
dating
a
myself. I might be dating myself.
Facebook marketplace, like
Yeah.
$2 and pick it up on my porch or I'll
Yeah.
meet you at
Oh, I
Starbucks.
definitely do. I do that with offer up all the time. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just trying to clear some preps to put other preps in its place. And
Yeah.
I need to my in my garage we have all these color coordinated bins and stuff, and I want to do a massive reorg on it because my wife's been encroaching and taking over with her canning supplies, and it's so we kind of have like the his and hers section of the garage, and I need to figure out a different strategy. So
Yeah. No, I feel like that's so so one of the episodes that we missed, we were
yeah,
not connected on.
oh
Sutton's
gosh,
Days was our I don't know whether to call them co-hosts or special guests or what.
she
Like,
just arrived in the comment section,
did
and
she? Oh
yeah,
my goodness.
people. Let her have her canning supply, she says. So
Yeah, exactly. Sutton's Days. So okay, since Sutton's Days is here,
yeah,
she was not able to join the last couple, which was
yeah.
disappointing because
The
one of those
contract didn't
episodes
work out for those ones, I
she
thought.
was we're still negotiating.
Yeah,
She drives a
it's
hard
still
bargain.
negotiations. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. No, well, we had a whole thing on how to downsize and organize, and she
yeah.
had very specific ideas about what to do, like my extra t-shirts, towels, blankets, all this sort of stuff. Okay, so I actually did all of those things. And
She
then
says, "Send me a link."
I sent you a link. I send everyone a link, or at least I mean
I
I
think
sent
it's the old link, Sutton's Days, and it's the same one. It's just the date
it's
changed on it.
the same one. If you
Yeah,
just
same
go
one.
in the email in the thread and it's in there.
Yeah,
Also, just so you know, we're doing a short one. We're only going to be here till for another 20 minutes. So
yeah.
if you want to jump in, we would love to. And Lori, yes, I always send her the link. She's in the group now. But I did. I went through. I cleaned out a bunch of t-shirts. I we washed a bunch of blankets and folded them for the vacuum bags. Um, oh well, that's unfortunate. Um,
I'll send it to
okay,
her. I'll
we'll
send
send
it.
it to you. We'll take care of you. Don't you worry, Sutton's Day. We'll take care of Sutton's Days. Um, the so like I got rid of all of these blankets that are vacuum sealed. We found towels that were like my wife was super excited about this. My wife was like giggling in the corner and like I think subscribing to your channel on multiple accounts. Um
Wow.
and then she came home the other day and she's like, "Hey, so I got these new bags." And I was like, "What do you mean you got new bags? We have 48 backpacks. What are you talking about?" "Oh, but I got these." And they were holding I was like, "Do you know like I was just on with Sutton's Days talking about
Yeah,
how you wanted me to get rid of bags and
yeah.
you brought home new bags." So she just was like, "Yes, but they have different handles or something and you can still get rid of your own bags." I was like, "All right, fine. That's fair. That's okay." So
Yeah,
I still have to do the same thing.
I'm kind of pushing it on a couple things because we have a few like I don't know what to call they're there's some piles that I'm not a fan of, and so I put little sticky notes. This will be going to the dump by this date if it's still here because I'm trying to clear a room, and so but I don't think that wasn't a good move on my part because I got there's some collateral damage that happened by leaving a sticky note.
Yeah, yeah. If you make it obvious, it's not a
Yeah,
good like gray men, gray clothing,
yeah,
gray
yeah,
cleaning. It's like if we get rid of certain toys, like when the kids were little, if we just got rid of toys, they wouldn't notice. But if we
yeah,
said, "Hey, we're going to get rid of this toy," they may not have played with it for 2 years. All of
yeah.
a sudden, it was the most favorite toy they've ever had, and they would never like. How dare we even think about it?
Yeah, mother feels. Yes, I do label like the trash. So it's junk. It's like my son has this one box filled with Legos that are, and it's been there for like over a year, and I'm like, this needs to go. Like if
Okay, wait a minute.
we
Hold on.
donated,
Hold on.
yeah,
Hold on. Time out. Time out.
yeah,
Time out.
they were color coordinated.
Box of
Mickey's.
Legos.
Well, it's like
And
a
you are going to get rid of these things.
yes. Well,
Optimus
it's sitting
Prime
there. It's
disapproves.
Yeah. Well, it's not like I don't think they're like hodgepodge like things that he put together and had in this little cabinet, but it's just sitting there in the hallway and I'm like I'm tired of I need proper ex- exit paths and stuff in the hallway and so there's stuff like that. I'm trying to clear off space, but again, I put a sticky note on it with a date and that wasn't received well either.
Legos are perimeter defenses.
Yeah.
Like
He
you just
has he has
sprinkle
like a
those
whole
out and
shelf
they're
of
like,
Legos and it's all it's nicely organized. It's lit up and everything, and he takes really good care of his prize Legos. This is like it's kind of like the ugly vegetables at the grocery store. It's like his ugly Legos are on this one section, and
okay.
I need to fix that.
Okay. All right.
And I
All
did
right.
send Sutton's the link.
Okay. All right. Um Legos are future mortgage payment. That is also true.
Yeah.
Um yeah, and Pony Girl, yeah, I don't like here's what I
I
recognize.
I crossed it before with
Look,
Katy Perry or not Katy Perry,
no, Taylor
Taylor
Swift.
Swift.
You don't even
Now I
remember her
did the
name.
Legos.
You don't even remember her
I
name.
don't. And
You like look, here's the deal. We've really enjoyed our last few episodes with Sutton's Days, and Bernie. And I feel like, this is just it's like he's trying to be fired from his own podcast. I don't know what this is, but like it's just a thing.
I've never said a bad word about ugly chicken or anything like that. Or yeah, it's a
So you want to start a podcast with Sutton's Days? I see you're trying to fire me from my own podcast. All right, the truth is coming out, ladies and gentlemen. This is what's happened. Um, no. So what I will say is there are hodgepodge Legos,
yeah,
which we have a bucket of hodgepodge Legos as well. And those were the ones that we were like, hey, kids, if you want to be imaginative and creative, you can build whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. And then there were Daddy's Legos. And Daddy's
yeah,
Legos had different rules
yeah,
because Daddy's Legos were a different tax bracket. And so Daddy's Legos all had to kind of like stay together and you could play with them, but like we didn't mess with the construction, and the minifig stayed with the set so that we didn't. But then they had like buckets full of other Legos. And they ended up not wanting to then play with those Legos. They just wanted to get more sets and build their own sets and all that sort of thing. So I understand having a hodgepodge of Legos.
okay,
That's totally fine. There are no bad words for ugly chicken.
yeah.
That is
Sutton
true.
says no worries. The email isn't showing up. I'll torment you both next week. Okay,
Okay, that's fair. That's fine. I'm
that's fair.
glad to
We
hear
could,
we'll be back on track
yeah.
again.
There's yeah, but what was I gonna say? Yeah, there's a lot of internal battles going on for organization and prepping type stuff. Like the other day they were asking, "Hey, do you know where some scissors are?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's in my junk drawer. I have a video on it in a PDF. Like, where are they?" And I looked at the junk drawer. It's completely junked out, and I just redid it. Like labeled everything. It's now it's all like it's just a mess. And I'm like, well, you're not following the PDF. And then they're like, oh, F your PDF. And then
Yep.
I also they were look. She was people were looking for a lightning cable. I'm like, well, in the bottom drawer, I have it organized. I have a video on it too. Like it's in. And then again, I looked in it and it's destroyed. And it's little things like that are happening. And I gotta get control of the situation. It's starting to unravel.
Obviously, they have unsubscribed from your channel.
Yeah, my my
That is
battery
that is happening.
modules got depleted. She's like, I don't have any batteries," and I'm like, "No, what do you mean you don't have any batteries? I have the battery daddy, and it's or completely organized, and it's just I don't know what happened.
It's empty. It's
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 empty."
it's just it's a sad uncle battery thing.
Yeah,
It's just not a it's
and then
not a good situation.
I have some modules in our bathroom that are organized based off of the categories, and we're having some problems with, well, I want those shelves. I'm like, well, and now I noticed that all my modules are completely messed up. I had like my ointments module and my prescription medications and my bandages uh, and then random stuff and then feminine stuff, and it's all I don't know what's going on. It's just
How many ointments do you need to have to require a module?
I only need one.
I'm just saying. Seems like a lot of
I
ointments.
just need Neosporin, but my
Okay.
wife has probably 50 ointments for various things. I don't know what they. So I made a module for the ointments,
Is that
and
her
it's
skincare routine? Because you should
I don't
probably
know.
refer to it as her skincare routine module as opposed to her ointment module. I feel
They're
like
like
those things
different
are
lotion. I
different.
don't use lotion. I don't use ointment. I mean, if I get a cut, I'm gonna use some Neosporin. Other than that, I don't have anything else. But it's yeah, it's yeah, we take a break for a couple weeks and all hell breaks loose in the household.
Yeah, sounds like you need a pegboard in your office to hang the Costco battery backs on so they can see them.
Fortunately, I had my backup battery module to help in this situation, but it's that backup one's for emergency purposes only. Like it's supposed to be like for grid down, so I had to go into there to get the Yes, yeah. Prepper
Did you?
problems are happening. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get the shakes and want to scream
No,
when the junk drawer was messed up?
well, I was thinking, do I need to revise my PDF or do I need to do something? Do I have a flaw in the system? And no, it's not a flaw. It's just like it's not being followed according to plan.
Is it possible that your family is trying to fire you from the
I think
family?
they're trying to fire me from the family, and
Okay.
they just give me a room.
They don't want to fire you. They're just waiting for you to resign.
Yes, they're
Yeah. It's just like, no, you have to come in on Sunday, but I don't want to. Well, I
Yeah,
guess you
you do
have to
have to, as
resign.
Lori says, you do have to rotate the supply. So I guess in one way,
Yep.
maybe that's what they're trying to do is they're trying to make sure that I rotate my batteries and everything and be
So
prepared
so
for
what
the
I
unexpected.
so what I hear Lori saying is obviously they're better preppers than you are.
They're pretty good.
I mean, that's what I heard out of that. That's
My I've been proud of my
controversy.
son. He has some certain preps in his bag and on him and like his own little EDC. It's not like he's not bringing knives and shanks to school or anything like that, but he has some basic supplies. And as always, like the most used thing is always the first aid stuff. Like I think I need to do a whole. I need to rethink some of my first aid things because we've had to bust out the Stera strips recently and some Tegaderm and there's cuts and
Mhm.
all sorts of stuff happening. So the first aid's like one of the ones that's a good prep to do and it's usually a family accepted prep, but like because it's beneficial often.
Sutton's Days is giving big props to Lori.
Lori is a
Lori is
dazer.
Sutton's Days approved as a
Okay.
prepper.
I think a lot of like the best preppers out there are the ones they don't have channels, they don't have books or websites. They're just prepping and they're on the low key. So
Also, they're subscribed to Sutton's Days channel.
and there's a
I,
subscribe. Yeah, Sutton's Days kind of
yeah,
knows. She knows it's who's who in the prepper world,
yeah,
nationwide,
yeah, yeah.
worldwide.
Sutton's Days also Sutton's Days puts it out on like her channel, and like there are more people here when Sutton's Days is than like there have been a
Yeah,
couple times where I
yeah.
was like, oh my goodness, I
A
this
little
is
nerve
like
wracking.
mainstay exactly.
And when she's doing
She's
her
a pro.
solo live streams, it's just like it's beautiful to watch. It's just like boom, boom, interacting, naming people, talking on
Oh,
certain topics, super organized, and somehow keeps track of all the comments. It's next
she's
level.
so much better than us.
Yeah,
I
so much
mean,
better.
just so she elevates. Sometimes we have to not have her on just so that like
Yeah,
we like
she kind of
there's just a
sucks out.
whole
She sucks
level.
all the air out of the room for us, and like
It just like my therapist has enough things to talk to me about without the inferiority complex that I get every week
yeah,
um from the queen.
yeah,
She's bowing now, as she
yeah,
should.
yeah.
We give her her flowers. um I can't handle the pressure.
That's true.
Oh my goodness, this is
And I still
fantastic.
every time I go to the grocery store, I mean, and I go in the chicken section, I'm thinking of Sutton's Days and what's the ugly chicken threshold price, and if I need to make
Hmm.
a purchase, and it's a constant decision now at that section. I'm looking for yellow tags.
Yeah, yeah. You can never have too much ugly chicken, especially when you have been tutored in the art of canning it
Yeah.
by the wonderful queen herself. Which I haven't forgotten about. We are going to do the canning episode. That is happening. We unearthed the canner as part of the spring break cleaning. So,
My
um,
wife has serious beef with people on these jars. We were just talking about the other day because she gives out these spicy jam jars to people because we have like 300 of them and I can't eat all that
mhm.
spicy jam. But if they don't bring her back like the jar or like the rings or stuff, it's like you're dead to me almost. Like it's like she gets really upset about it, and I don't know if Sutton Stays is like that or anyone else, but it's like the jars are super important to my wife, and for me, I'm like, well, let's just get some more jars and more rings, but she's like, no.
Is that kind of like is that like a part of like I'm going to use a term here,
Yeah,
and I don't know if
it's
it's
like
true, but
it's like
like
they're leasing the jam or something. I don't
is
know.
it like part of like canning culture and like canning etiquette that like
It
people
might
who
be an etiquette thing.
can like okay, we give you the jars, you give us the jars, you return the jar, like
Yeah,
that. I mean, there's general like politeness, but then like
yeah,
I feel like there's another level, um, kind of like with like Tupperware too, like but not
yeah,
necessarily. But like
yeah,
canning is a whole process, and especially if people can certain things and then like trade it. Like I make applesauce and you make ugly chicken and then we trade. But
yeah.
then like, what is that a thing? Oh, here we go. We have a
Oh,
canners return jars, non-canners don't. They use them for their
but
beverages.
yeah, I've seen them at
Yeah.
restaurants where they have the jars, like at a southern style restaurant or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I know that like
anyway, she was totally bad mouthing these longtime friends because they didn't return her jars to her. It was like,
here's what I'm glad about. I'm glad that our podcast is not seen by millions of people. So that,
yeah,
for example, your wife's friends who got the jars and know who they are
yeah,
wouldn't know that your wife is
they're not
bad
gonna find
mouthing
out.
them behind the. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They're unless they subscribe to Sutton's Days channel and then they
yeah,
come find our podcast that way, and then they're you've ended a friendship.
yeah. We do have to prep Tupperware for but she's cool with the Tupperware going and being missing. But I have a shelf for Tupperware that's able to be given out and not returned. That's okay.
Okay, so but Sutton's Day says I'm begging people to take the jelly jars.
Huh.
Is there a distinction between the jelly jars and other jars?
I don't
Like,
know.
is that like in like the thickness of like what you can put in it? Like, are they less useful? Because I remember that especially
I
like
don't know.
during the pandemic, people started trying to can it. Like, you couldn't find the jars, and they were
Yeah,
like
they're
super
hard to get.
expensive, and all of that. And there were shortages. So, I'm curious, like, if that's a thing where there's like different types of jars.
Well, you probably can't fit too many like things in there. Like you're not gonna put I
A
don't know.
chicken in it?
Yeah, chicken, or you're not gonna put pickles in it or something like that because it's too.
Yeah. Pig's Fly says it's the size of the jar. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah. She
that's
wants her
fine.
pint jars and quarts. Like those are like mandatory for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Um,
And she still has like I got her the All American canner for Christmas a couple years ago. I thought it was a great romantic
the
move as a
the
prepper.
Cadillac
The
of
Cadillac
canners.
of canners, and she
Yep.
has it on display like it's a trophy that she won at an awards thing, but she's still using the cheapo, like the Presto ones, and it's like, I'm like, hey, why aren't you using the? This is the Cadillac, and it's like, I don't know, it's like when you have I don't know, a nice car and you keep it in the garage, only take it out for special occasions, but it's a. Yeah, maybe it's too heavy to use. It is heavy, but yeah, she
Yeah.
keeps using the El Cheapos, and again, more prepper problems that we're having, but
Yeah, prepper problems are yeah, it's a
maybe
whole.
Sundays are right. It's a workhorse and lighter and easier. Well, that's what she's. I think you're right, Sutton's. That's what she's doing.
Yeah, but you know what? It makes
I
a
should get
great
like a
display
glass
piece.
container, like it's a autographed football or something. Like
You
I should just
should
have the have the canner in there.
have
Because
like some lights, that
yeah, with
like
some lights.
steam down
Yeah,
on
lights
it.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think 100%. That would be fantastic.
That might be romantic. That's maybe Valentine's Day's passed. Her birthday's coming up though next month, so
Yeah,
maybe that's something to think about.
I think that'll be great. And then when you give her a display case for the canner that you got for her because it's what she wanted,
Yeah,
um, I will just let me know when you do that. We'll make sure that Sutton's Days and Bernie and everybody are here for the next couple of shows so that your face can heal from
yeah,
the beating that it will take from that.
yeah.
Um, it'll be
How long will it
fantastic.
take before you realize I'm always right? Do I need to call Taylor Swift?
I mean, probably. It also, if you know Taylor, please call her. We would love to have her on Prep Talk Live or anything like that. She's a national treasure, and we love her, except for Tup,
Yeah.
who, you know,
Are her and Travis
is.
Kelsey still together? I haven't been following.
Oh yes, oh
Okay.
yes.
It's
They're very much still
still
together. They're
strong.
very much
Still
in
strong.
love. Yeah, exactly. We're just waiting
All
for
right.
the engagement and
All
the
right.
national wedding that will take place. Um, so okay,
How's prep been going in your neck of the woods?
it's been going okay.
Yeah.
We also were doing a lot of cleaning. We had spring break last week, so we did some cleaning projects, and there's been kind of some around preps that we did. Like, I connected our security cameras up to uh actual power lines, as wired power, as opposed to just the batteries. So that was good. We did my brother actually is going on a camping trip with his family in a few months, and they came over to our house and because they were like, we hear you have the Queen is leaving. Thank you for stopping by, Your Majesty.
Yes.
We will see you next week, where we will all take the beatings from you that we deserve, for all of the things, as with a smile, as we would. So he had heard that like we had sleeping bags for them, and I've talked about it, but they've never really come over to see it all, and so they came over and we had the totes out with all the different. We're like, do you want the mummy bags? Do you want rectangular ones? Are you going for
Yeah.
summer or winter? Like what? Because some of that stuff we just keep stored different iterations, for family members and that sort of stuff. And so that was kind of fun, actually, like being able to get some of that gear out and share it with family. So that was good. And then we're planning some travel in the next few weeks, and so I've started kind of thinking about some new travel preps and kind of getting some of that stuff organized and making that happen. But yeah, that's kind of all that's been going on over here. We kind of took a break for spring break.
Lori's bouncing because Angry Prepper's on, and he's mad.
He's very angry.
He's mad.
The Angry Prepper is very angry all the time, at his preps. Actually, he's just mad at the preps.
I've been working on my strategy. I keep seeing in the news about all like the squatters' rights thing, kind of the problem going on with that. So I'm working on my preps to prepare for
for
because we're
squatters.
going on vacation. Yeah, I don't. I've been working on it. Because I'm like so the paperwork and the how to protect, because we have some vacations coming back, and I don't want to.
Well, what are the squatters like? I know, like if you were like, I've heard of it in certain situations, if you are like renting to someone and then the lease expires or it goes for a certain
It's
amount
meant
of
for
time.
that. It's meant for like like to protect against mean landlords. But there's like
Yeah,
loopholes in it, basically, where it's like if you could claim that this is your place, and you could say, hey, I have a cell phone bill that's coming here now, and it says mail. Here's my mail to prove it. And so and it's like a big like problem that's happening. And so I've been researching, well, how do you protect from that? Because like some people are going away for like on a vacation, or they inherited a home or something, and then they're having a problem with it getting basically taken over, and there's no ramifications because it's kind of a civil issue. So you have to do some stuff to make it more of a criminal issues to help protect yourself from that. So I've been working on my preps, my home prep planning for that, to how to if that were to happen. So not that it would, but as
I'm
preppers,
very
we like
intrigued about that.
yeah. Uh, maybe I should make a video. Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
or we'll talk about it next week.
yeah. It's I don't know, on the TikTok I keep getting all these
Yeah.
videos about it, so I'm like, well, crap, I don't have any
Yeah.
squatter preps, like squatter prevention preps going on. So I need to let me think about what PDF is gonna it's gonna look like.
Aside from the toilet bucket,
Yes, that's
I
that's
mean,
true.
look, it's 29 and a half minutes and no one had made a joke about it. So somebody had to, and channeling my inner Sutton's days and making sure that we're on track.
Yeah.
Um,
Leaving silly
so
prepping for angry prepping. Yes.
yes, yeah, silly prepping. I
What
mean,
is that? Silly? Chuck.
we we like to
This is very
laugh. We
serious.
like to joke. Yeah, we're
This is
like
this
we're
is
using
very serious.
Legos as home defense. I don't know what's silly about that.
Pony Girl has a direct question. Hey
Oh,
guys,
okay.
I'm
All
planning
right.
a trip from Arizona to Missouri next year. Would love suggestions for items to include on my solo trip.
Okay. So, how are you tripping?
Hey, is it driving or flying or RV,
Yeah, exactly.
motorcycle,
Yeah.
bike ride,
Um,
backpacking?
because I think that would be a key determination. Obviously, if you're flying, there are different things that you could take versus if you're driving, and if you're like renting a car versus if you have your own car. Um,
Truck.
okay, truck. Um, I mean, standard medical kit, I would say, would be good. Since you're going out of state, it might be good to have, depending on how you have like documents and things like that. If you want to have like an extra couple pieces of identification, extra cash and credit cards in case you can't get home. Um, we have a thumb drive with a bunch of documents and all that sort of stuff. So in case we kind of get stuck and can't get back to home base, we have some of that stuff that we can access and use without needing to be at the home computers and that sort of stuff. Um,
It looks like, I
Temp, what do
mean,
you got?
well, I think,
We'll be
yeah, like you,
camping at least one night.
yeah, one night has a, I don't know if the back of the truck is covered, but I'd want my roadside assistance preps. I'd want my first aid preps in there. I'd want to have backup, all the vehicle preps, all the stuff that falls into that category. So,
Yeah,
it's getting hot. So in Arizona, you're going to want to have some water back there.
I
I
would
don't
say
know. I guess
without getting into too many details that would get us demonetized.
yes.
Some self defense preps I think would be very key, especially if you are solo and you are planning on camping in a truck or a car or vehicle or something like that. Depending on where you're going, I would
Yeah,
definitely
I
want to
like
have something.
the idea of stealth camping
Yep.
with the vehicles is probably pretty good. I guess any kind of a with the overlanding type stuff would those videos would probably be pretty helpful for that kind of road trip. I don't know. It
Yeah.
sounds like fun.
Yeah, I would also recommend. I don't know if you're on the TikToks or anything. If you're not on TikToks, maybe you're on Instagram Reels, something like that. Lots of I've stumbled across a lot of like van camping or stealth camping creators who have all kinds of cool ideas for things to take along that they use because they're camping in their cars all the time. They're by themselves, that sort of thing. And so I would highly recommend trying to track a couple of those down and just kind of see what they do and how they do it if it's something you've never done before.
So some of that's yeah, that stealth camping stuff is really cool. Like it seems like it apply. It's prepper adjacent. I think it's
Yeah.
like if a prepper applies it, that would be a good strategy to use in general.
Yes, and the oven for the camp cookie baking. So I mean, you can, especially if you have the covered area of the truck bed. I mean, you could absolutely do it. If you were on a motorcycle, it's a little big to take with you. I would say probably not. You know, I've also seen if you're taking a vehicle, I've seen a lot of people like cook things on engine blocks. Like that's a thing that I've seen people do, like where they'll cook salmon or they'll cook whatever on a like an engine block of a car. So it might be interesting to see if you could make cookies on the engine block of a car.
Well, you might want to like if you could get an adapter for your vehicle. If you had like if you just brought an air fryer with you, like the little Ninja ones, you could cook so many
Oh
different things
yeah,
like that. It'd be pretty basic and easy to do. I mean, we're using the air fryer all the time for every. It could, this food could be raw, it could be frozen stuff, but it'd be a quick way of cooking, and you might even be able to do cookies. I don't know. Probably. I've never tried it,
yeah,
but I think I say go air fryer and get some kind of adapter for the cigarette lighter, and you be probably pretty good.
yeah, yeah. I think soft shell on the truck. I think that would be great. They also make. I've seen like tents that will attach to the back of pickup trucks and SUVs and things like that. That could give you a little more space aside from like a rooftop tent sort of an idea. They actually more just attach onto the end. So that could be another thing. But from the stealth camping perspective, it would obviously draw attention if you had a tent attached to the back of your car. Um, so that might not be the best option, but soft top would work.
Big Ross says use the Jackery. I'd probably save my Jackery or keep it charging if with the Instapot. But I mean, if you're driving, you're generating power, and you don't have to go dip into your Jackery supply. But
Yeah.
I use the
I guess
Jackery all the time. Like I bring it, I bring it so many different places, and it's always handy.
are you suggesting she air fry while she's driving?
No, I was suggesting if you're doing a pit stop because it's so quick. Like,
Oh,
yeah, if you're at a rest stop or something, and just leave the car or the truck running and have the air fryer plugged in, it probably take 10 minutes to do something, and it's a nice hot meal, and it's going to taste good.
yeah. Taking a
You
portable
can do you could
generator
even do
for my
steaks if you wanted to.
for my electric tea pitcher. Portable like battery generator or like a gas generator
Mhm.
or like a what are the inverters, the little ones? Because they have like the little gas ones that are like I want to say Kawasaki or Samsung,
Oh,
or I mean, they make a bunch of different ones, but those are the ones that I've always seen around. And they're significantly smaller and quieter, and usually have cleaner power as opposed to the larger gas ones.
should probably download some offline maps for the
Yep,
region, just in case you don't have
yep,
cell reception.
exactly. Probably good idea to understand, like, also there are some mapping programs that'll let you put points of interest on in an offline thing. So you'd have like the printed, like a book of maps, but then on your phone you have an app that doesn't require cell reception to actually use the map, where it's just downloaded and maybe it uses your GPS or whatever. But you can actually put like points of interest on the map, so police stations, fire stations, things like that, that would be along your route in case you needed to go somewhere to get help. You would kind of know where those things were.
Well, sounds like a good trip.
All right. Well,
we got
we're
it all worked out.
excited. Yeah, we're excited to hear. We'll hear more. Maybe we'll do more travel preps over the next couple episodes. We still have to do prepping high school. We
That's
still
true.
have not done that. So
Yeah, it's
we got to line that up for one of these episodes.
yeah.
Yeah, we have a list of episode ideas that we still haven't done yet. We talk about them and we haven't done
We
them yet.
we
So we'll have
have
to
we have
make that
lots of
happen.
ideas and not a lot of time.
That is fantastically true. Speaking of, we are over by
Oh, we're
about
already
5 minutes. So
are we 5 or 6 minutes over already?
yeah, exactly. I'm getting the text messages now.
Where'd that
Mom is
come from?
not pissed, but she's just wondering where I am.
Yeah, I wonder if I got it.
So
I don't have any text messages yet, but well, they'll be coming.
they'll be coming. So
I heard you were
anyway,
talking about the sticky notes you put on our the junk piles.
you were talking about the people with the jars that I. Anyway, Deborah called me. I don't know if her friend's name is Deborah, but it sounded appropriate. Anyway,
Yeah,
um, thanks everybody for joining us. We will be back next week, next Wednesday, 5:30. I think works for me. I think it works for you. Maybe
yeah. And
we'll
I think yeah,
coordinate.
sounds good. They can
I think we'll have Sutton's days.
hop over to Angry Prepper now to continue your
Exactly.
prepping
Tell them
live
that
stream
we say
journey.
hello.
Yeah.
On the Less Angry Prepping podcast. Maybe we should have Angry Pepper on the Less Angry Pepper
He
podcast.
would be dropping f bombs, all sorts.
So what you're saying is we should record that episode
Yeah,
and
it's
edit it. Okay, that's fair. That's fine. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Thanks for stopping by. Bye bye.